Welcome back, guys, or if you're new here, this is Automotive Anonymous, and I'm currently driving the best new car you can buy for $21,000. Yeah, this is the Chevy Trax. Welcome to the year 2025, where this is the second year of the second generation of the Chevy Trax. It grew a little bit compared to the first generation, but what didn't grow is the price tag. It has a turbocharged 1.2 liter engine, front wheel drive, so there's no optional four wheel drive like there is on the Chevy Blazer. And yeah, it starts at $21,000, making this the best affordable vehicle that you can buy right now in America. There might be a few cheaper options like a Nissan Versa, but is that really something you want to be driving compared to something like this that looks this good, that actually has quite a few safety features? And if you splurge and spend $4,000 more like this specific 2RS model, you get a heated steering wheel. You get some heated seats for you and your front passenger. You get RS stamped into the headrest. Even my backpack's having a good time chilling in these basically leather seats. And when you're driving it, you have good visibility. The side mirrors are huge. The rear mirror does a good job because this vehicle isn't that long at under 15 feet and it weighs about 3,000 pounds. But you have a payload capacity of about 940 pounds, which is surprisingly about the same as a Toyota 4Runner. So you can actually take the whole family, and full-size adults even can sit back there in the back seat. But behind the back seat, you have 25 cubic feet of cargo capacity. So this is a really good vehicle. I'm gonna slow down a little bit, take this corner at a little bit of speed, 30 miles an hour or so, and then powering out. Honestly, you know, for being about a mile above sea level today, this little engine's down on power a few percent, and that's not too bad. There's a bump up here I want you guys to listen for. We're gonna see how the suspension handles, but going in a straight line, it's comfortable and convenient, but here's that little bit of a bump. Actually, the suspension absorbed that really well. These 245, 4519 wheels and tires, they surprised me. I was expecting a little bit harsher ride for a 19-inch wheel, but hey, that really wasn't that bad. Unfortunately, you don't have a full-size spare in the back, but overall for 25 grand, you absolutely get what you pay for. This is a comfortable ride. It has, you know, the typical 5-year, 60K mile warranty. Everything's right where you want it to be. I do wish the shifter had more of a gated or notch design for the low gear, because if you just pull it all the way back, you're gonna accidentally get into the low gears, and you don't wanna over rev this little engine. But it does rev pretty good. I'm gonna get to show you a brake test right up here at this stop sign. We're currently going about 50. I'll maybe give it 2/3 brake pedal, starting now. A little bit of nosedive. Oop, and we stopped way short of when we actually needed to. But I don't see any traffic. Again, visibility is really good in this little Chevy Trax. It's not a super tall vehicle, so the overall height of, or the length, I guess you should say, the true length of the windshield, it's not huge, but sitting pretty low in the vehicle. I mean, my shoulders are barely above the threshold of the door panel. You actually have really good visibility. It's not super windy out today. The trees aren't dancing around, but when I'm quiet, it's actually pretty quiet in here. You do get a little bit of a buzz from the engine under the hood, but most of the noise I hear is probably from the tires from those Continentals, which do have about 10-30 seconds of tread depth. So I don't think they're shaved down at all like sometimes Toyota and some other manufacturers do. So for 25 grand, you literally get every bit of 25 grand of what this vehicle is worth, which is pretty cool. Even Car and Driver, which does not stroke the ego of brands and, you know, makes, models, things like that, it actually rated this as a 10 out of 10 pick for the 2025 model year, which I think is pretty impressive. Also, according to them, the only changes are a few new paint colors and the fact that you can now put E85 in this, which will probably get a little bit worse gas mileage, probably get a little bit more power. But they didn't mention this, but the price, it didn't really change much for 2025. This is still a very affordable vehicle, and I think that's worth mentioning because the average new vehicle year after year goes up as little as about $1,000 or as extreme as $3,000 or $4,000, just depending on how greedy the manufacturers are feeling that year, I guess, and what supply costs change year to year. So for this to be basically the same $21,000 starting price, or this one about $25,000 with destination about $26,000, it's actually really impressive. And I want to show you the window sticker, basically the sticker that Chevy would put on this one, and it's about $26,000. Also, Twin Falls Chevy, they ship anywhere in the country. They're a fantastic dealership to work with, which is why I partnered with them to make this video. But I want to come up to this turn up ahead, and I want to see how this handles with a little bit more speed on a right-hand turn, which is a little bit sharper of a turn than a left-hand turn. So we're currently going about 60, maybe slowing down what it feels like it needs to about 30 again. Ooh, and even a right-hand turn at 30, that felt pretty good. The transmission in this is really sharp, but after you're about third gear, which is usually a 45 mile per hour roll or higher, it really feels sluggish. It's as quick as it needs to be, and in fact, let me show you the 0 to 60 right here. 0 to 60 in the Chevy Trax, density altitude's about 4,500 feet, so even though it's turboed, it's still down on power about 7%. I weigh about 190 pounds. My backpack weighs about 7 or 8 pounds, so let's see what it can do. Brake rev, traction is off. Let's go. Tiny bit of wheel spin. Definitely slower in third gear right now. And true 0 to 60, it came in at 9.96 seconds. Can you criticize a 137 horsepower motor for doing a sub 10 seconds 0 to 60? No, I don't think you can. So it didn't set any acceleration time records, but with 137 horse and a little bit over 150 pound-feet of torque, it comes on low, thankfully, in the 2,000 RPM range, but it's not earth-shaking, it's not earth-shattering, but it does the job, it gets done what needs to be done. And again, the vehicle's unloaded right now. Imagine if you did have 943 pounds worth of people and stuff in here, it's gonna feel that much slower with another, 750 pounds weighing down the vehicle. But is it gonna get by? Sure. Is it technically in an economy class car? Yeah, I think it is. And these basically, in my opinion, are the crossover version of what the Sonic, the Spark, and the Cruise used to be, because Chevy doesn't make any of those vehicles anymore. There's a slow-moving Kia Soul up here, so maybe we'll just do a U-turn, because I actually wanted to take this corner with quite a bit of speed, but instead you get to see the turning radius, which 35 feet for a full circle is what this puppy does. That's actually really impressive and about the same as a GR86 or Subaru BRZ, if you know what those cars are. So that's a pretty good turning radius, or turning circle, as I mentioned, for this type of vehicle. And overall, guys, I think this is a really fun ride. I think it's an economy car that has done extremely well. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Mitsubishi Mirage that I filmed about a year ago. That was one of the funnest economy class cars I have ever driven. Unfortunately, it's no longer sold in the US after 2023 because it didn't pass enough baseline safety crash test results. So it's dead, but this isn't dead. This is gonna be around for a little while, and I think you guys should check one out. I think you should also test drive the competition. They're like the CHR, the HRV, some of those other, competition little crossovers. But this is a fun one, and it's one that I would recommend to you guys. I don't have any reason not to. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please consider liking this video with the little thumb right there. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, comment your thoughts and opinions below, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Remember, I'll link the dealer to this one in the description below. They're a fantastic group to work with, and until next time, guys, take care.